All right, here we go. Trent Dilfer now is joining us live. Long time no talk, 14 years in the NFL. Where are you right now, and how are you doing?
I miss you, brother. I am back after a complete failure in college football, back to where my roots are, high school football. So I'm back at Lipscomb, where I spent 4 years and was my happiest, and what I'm wired to do. More transformation than transaction.
Yeah, well, that's what college football is. You know, we talked about this earlier. I had Drew Brees on yesterday, and I asked Drew, I said, does your journey remind you a little of Sam Darnold, where the first place is turbulent, you don't maybe get the support? And he said it does. And he went on and gave a really interesting answer. And it actually made me think of Arch Manning, who had to sit for 2 years, I would argue, behind a guy he'll ultimately be better than. Then when he did play, got the crap kicked out of him, and everybody ripped him. And then at the end of this year, dealing with all that adversity, he was great in his last 6 games. And I'm like, when you were in college football, I mean, your journey, I mean, I could go back. I was there. I was in Tampa working as a sports guy. Do you worry about, having been in college football, forget the other positions, that at the first sign of adversity, a lot of these quarterbacks and their dads are like, we're out of town? Does that worry you?
Heck yeah. As usual, you're right on this thing that nobody wants to talk about. What makes you wired to be a championship quarterback is the adversity. Are the hard things, are the grind, are the failures. I got booed out of Outbacks. I had binoculars thrown at me. If there was social media back then, I wouldn't be able to be on it. And many quarterbacks have the same story. It's what hardens you. And we're so scared as athletes in this generation for hard things, for adversities, for benchings, for failures, for 4-interception games, for not meeting expectations, what a guy might say about you, what you read on your phone. But yet we need to embrace those things as the good stuff. The good stuff comes out of the hard stuff. And you get to a point where you really just don't care anymore about what others think. Then you're free. But I think every young player has to go through that pain point, has to go through that struggle, so they're freed up that you're not playing for that. You're playing because you love football, for your teammates, for the job, for the passion. And that's what you said. I'm seeing Sam Darnold highlights. That's all you've seen in Sam. Sam was wildly talented when he came out. I remember being at ESPN saying Sam Darnold is a can't-miss guy if he's developed the right way, if he's taught the right way, if the system's correct for him. But he went into a bad situation. Right. It took the hardening of bad situations, took resilience and grit. It took being with the right people in the right time in the aha moment. The guy's won more games in the last 2 years, I think, than anybody but Tom Brady in the 2-year span. So he has become a great quarterback because of the hardening that went into the process.
We tend to forget that football, more than any sport, is really collaborative. I mean, if you're a great basketball player, you can get your 26 a night in Orlando or in Phoenix. But even as a wide receiver, look at Larry Fitzgerald's career. Boy, he was way better when he has Kurt Warner. You know what I mean? Even a receiving position, which we think is over on the sideline, doing his own thing, breaking the huddle first. I look at Josh Allen. Well, because of his contract, they don't have Pro Bowlers on defense. I look at Patrick Mahomes. Because of his contract, they don't have a running game, and they can't get their O-line right. Brady and Brees both said at one point, Trent, I'm going to take a little less. And I'm going to win more. Well, what do you know? Networks come the minute you're off the air, and they want to put you on the air because you're a winner. Go back to your career. Is maybe the model going forward, guys, you will make that money back. You'll make it back because you'll have a better right tackle. You'll get a TV job. But it is hard to tell a pro athlete, don't take the most money available to you. That's hard for a quarterback, is it not?
It is. I think this is a big subject. I'll give you my thoughts on this. I've been saying this for years. One, I think in the CBA, in the salary cap, they need to remove a portion for the quarterback. I think every team, football would be better if the teams weren't punished for these massive quarterback salary cap hits. I've always thought that should be the case. If not, then I'm on your page. Then they at least need to relax some of the rules so that quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Drew Brees, the face of the franchise, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, you can go down the list, should be able to get an equity piece of the organization or be involved in business deals that are tied to the NFL, because that's where real money. I mean, you know, billionaires, I know billionaires, they're equity stakes. You know what I mean? They get a piece of something bigger than their personal brand. So imagine Tom Brady. I don't know how much wealth he has. It's ridiculous, I'm sure. But it'd be even greater if he had a stake of the New England Patriots. Drew Brees should have had a stake in the business dealings of the New Orleans Saints. If they could do that, then quarterbacks would take less, because agents aren't going to let them bet on the TV contract. And I get it. I will say this too about Tom and Drew. They're both very good at it too. You know what I mean? I don't watch a ton of NFL anymore, but when I do and either one of them's talking, I listen, where I don't listen to a lot of other people. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of really successful quarterbacks that aren't good on TV. I mean, they just don't know how to communicate clearly. They're not concise with their words. They don't have charisma. They can't teach the game. The game came too easy for them.
Right.
I think a lot of times the guys that are the best on TV, the game came hard to. Tom Brady worked harder than anybody else, so he can explain it to somebody that's in the developmental stage or doesn't totally understand it. Drew Brees, same way. He can explain it better because he took the hard road to the game, and he has the gravitas to being a Hall of Famer. So again, agents are going to let you bet on the future, but if in the now they can have money, they can have revenue streams that are legal, that are outside the salary cap, then they would take more. I mean, anybody would take more for a superstar wide receiver or a better left tackle or a dominant inside backer or an edge rusher. That would be a no-brainer for any of us if we knew that we had an equity stake or a business dealing that could bring us the hundreds of millions of dollars that we're turning down in a contract.
You said you watch more college than pro, and we've had this kind of opinion on this show, is that a lot of my strongest opinions on players are often because I have sources in a pro league telling me that, or in an athletic department. And then there's these occasions when I like somebody way more than my sources in the league, or I like somebody way less than my sources. And that's when I make often my biggest mistakes. And you can, you look at it and go, how did you think that? And I'm like, well, I should have listened to people. So Fernando Mendoza is one of those. My sources like him. I love him. I think he's Matt Ryan plus. Bigger, stronger, more athletic than Matt Ryan. And I think Matt Ryan was really good. In his prime, very good, MVP. Fernando Mendoza, what do you see? Do you see very good, but not a star? Or is it, you tell me what you see.
Tremendously talented, very charismatic, great learner, compliant, which I think is one of the most undervalued thing in quarterbacking, meaning that they will do as they're told to do by their coaches who are smarter than them. They're not trying to roll out the balls and be the best athlete on the field. They're trying to be a surgeon instead of a butcher. Have I told that one to you before? Both have sharp instruments, right? One makes you a pastrami sandwich with his instrument. The other one saves your life with his instrument.
Right.
You got to have surgeons out there, so you got to be compliant to be a surgeon. He has played very remedial quarterback. So their passing game is very good, but very simple. He does not full field read very often. If you notice, he tucks it and runs a lot because they're kind of a 1-2 and go offense.
Yeah.
I would say Justin Herbert is your best comparable. Hall of Fame talent, remedial progression in his development. Therefore, he needs to be handled in such a way early on because he's going to have to play. I still don't believe in playing him early. I still, to this day, I'm one of the very few out there that still thinks they should sit for a year, one year, but everybody else says, oh, you got to pay him, you got to play him. Great. Then play him in a run action, cut the field in half, RPO, good run game, third down, protect him, don't make him do all the protections, and let him go be really good at that, and then build over years into the surgeon. I think he'd be as good as anybody there is if, and people are going to hold me to these comments, and I'm putting there the if. I want to know who's coaching him. I want to know who's developing him. I want to know who's in his ear all the time. I want to know who his mentor is. Is he going out to Southern California and working with Jordan Palmer? I hope so. You know what I mean? I hope that he's doing the things that the greatest in the games decided, I'm okay right now, but I can be great. And I need to surround myself with people that are great. Now, some of that is in his control, and some of it, like Sam Darnold, like a bunch of others that were really good that didn't make it, it's out of their control.
Right.
So where he's drafted, who's developing him, how they built the infrastructure around him, as Mike Holmgren always used to say, build the building around that player's development, because then we'll all have jobs forever.
Yeah.
But if you don't build the building around his development, he's just part of the building, then he could have a Sam Darnold experience because he hasn't been taught. And I love that staff. This is not a knock on Indiana's staff. By the way, we dumbed it down a little bit too in college football because you only have them for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And you got to win games. So it's nobody's fault. But when you look at his DNA as a quarterback, it's more of a 1-2 either or. It's very defined, a lot of back shoulders, a lot of go balls instead of inside benders, runaways, not a lot of modern NFL passing game in his repertoire. So that just needs to be developed. Will it happen by the right person? It wouldn't even be that hard to develop them by the right person, but it needs to be the right person.
So I was saying, we'll wrap it up with this, the Seahawks defense, which is really special. When your GM goes 8 for 8 in the last 4 years on the first 2 picks, and I mean 8 for 8 great players, that's hard to duplicate. The Seattle defense looked a little bit like the Legion of, Boom and Legion of Doom, and also looked a little bit like your Ravens defense. Now, your Ravens defense corners could do things you can't do anymore, so it's different. Yes. But when I think of great defenses, I'm like, the Tampa Bay, the Ravens, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Seahawks. And then I watch this one, and I'm like, that's one of the 4. And so Drake May gets engulfed, and my take is he's 23. These guys, I mean, outside of Matt Stafford, they ate everybody's lunch. They ate Stafford's got Puka and Devontae and McVay. So you tell me, when the times in your career, when you go back to your early days, your young days, and you face the best defense in the league, what does it look like? What was Drake May seeing?
Oh, gosh, I'm so glad you asked me these questions. I have a really fun story to tell to answer this question. My wife and I were driving across the country for 4 days. And the third day was Super Bowl Sunday. And she wanted to stop and go to a fancy hotel and watch the game. I'm like, no, I'm rolling. I'm 10 hours in. I want to do another 2-3 hours. So we're watching the game on Highway 70, driving through the middle of America, on our iPad. And I'm driving and I'm going about 75, 80 miles per hour, and I get pinned in between these 2 semis. And everybody that's ever driven a highway, when you're going fast, there's a lot of traffic and the semis pin you in. It's the most claustrophobic, uncomfortable, oh my gosh, I'm going fast, they're going fast, but are they going to smell? Am I going to become a, peanut butter and jelly sandwich in these semis? And I'm watching Drake May, I'm like, we're living the same life right now. I'm going to get smashed by 2 semis going 75. He feels that way. Every time he takes the snap, the Seattle Seahawks defense was 2 semis, pinned him in on its Highway 70 in the middle of America. And what do? You can't breathe. You can't think. Everything speeds up. Like he short arms some balls. I think the kid's phenomenal. I coached him in Elite 11. I love Drake May. He will be a superstar in this league for years to come. But and ask Tom this. I mean, Tom's on your show. He's the greatest of all time. There's only one defense to Tom Brady. There's only one way you could take him away. You couldn't play man. You couldn't play zone. You couldn't blitz him. You couldn't drop 8. You couldn't do it. But what you could do is make him sandwich in between 2 semis. Rex Ryan's defenses did it sometimes. There are certain defenses that knew how to take Tom Brady's superpower away. And his was more interior pressure. Right. But this was an overwhelming side interior sandwich, 2 semis on the side of you on a highway pressure, and no quarterback in the history of football could have thrived in that environment.
Yeah, it's great seeing you again.
I'm fired up, man.
And
does anybody care to have to say anymore after being a colossal failure in college football? At least I know a little bit.
Listen, football is Belichick got fired, Andy Reid got fired. I think you're okay.
You're getting fired or hired. When I decided to coach, that's what all my mentors told me. It's like, hey, if you're willing to be hired a bunch of times and fired a bunch of times, go for it. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Great seeing you again.
You're the best, dude. See ya.